Today, we're taking a look at a fabulous and functional update to the Gold Dreamwear anthology line. This is Gold 5. We'll start with the preamp. Everything is the same as the previous versions of Gold, with the exception of the Ultra Hyper Pre is built into this, and it emulates the natural oversaturation or distortion of the hardware. You change the size of it now and you have the oversampling. Of course, we have 16 line channels, we have 12 mic channels, and you have various bus channels here, which equates to either console or compressor or EQs, right? Down at the bottom, we have various tube extras that we can impart upon the signal atop of any of the preamps. So this gives you a significant amount of versatility for each channel. All right, next, the Gold compressor. Of course, the two flavors, the 52 and the 54. Not a whole lot has changed as far as the interface is concerned. Of course, there's lots of behind the scene improvements that have been done through each update of the Gold suite. Now, with this one here, you have three options for the type of attack and release this time around. So we have the classic, which is based off the actual sampling, which it takes quite a bit of signal to start the actual gain reduction in my experience. But with the software attack and release, you have a far larger area of effect when using these two options. Of course, we have the size options here, and we have the oversampling. Next, we have the Gold 5 EQ. Now, this hasn't changed much from the last couple of updates. There is some additional EQs, all right? So you get all of the same line, mic, and bus additions that you do get in the preamp version. You don't get the tube stuff in here though, so keep that in mind. Now, the input and the output are not gain compensated. So when you adjust the input, you're going to have to adjust this relative output. There is now phase options, panning options, and of course you can do the wide, normal, and mono spread here at the top. Down at the bottom, you get a number of meters. This is the reset button over here for each meter, but we get a VU meter and off as the option for input. But down at the bottom, there is quite a number of different meters that you have with the EQ. And so finally, we have the channel strip. Now, not much has changed with the channel strip. Most of what has been done with this is under the hood with the new hyper technology, the hyper preamps, the hyper compressors. I'm not sure about the hyper EQs though. And of course, the improvement in CPU usage is most certainly one of the main things that were changed about the channel strip itself. But it does not have the Ultra, nor does it have the software options as far as attack and release is concerned that is on the compressor and the preamp respectively. Of course, with the channel strip, there is some additional EQs here that was added. And as a matter of fact, let us take a look at the original Gold, which is this one here. As you can see, not much has changed. Yeah, so there's some additional EQs that are built into the new one that was not in the old one. Some of the knobs have been updated, but outside of that, cosmetically, it's pretty much the same. And so that is the interface for each of the plugins. Let us take a listen at what we did with Gold 5. Is in your hand. Kick drum, this is what we have before. All right. hi-hat before. And because we did boost with the EQ around 3.3 here, that's where that extra volume comes in. For the snare drum, before. After. So we gave this some more presence in the track. The bass before. All right. So we woke it up. This is the main guitar of the track. All right. And then this is what we did after. The staccato flute before. After. So a little bit of brightening. That was pretty much all I did here. The pizzicato before. This is after. So just a little bit on the high end, some more down here in the mid range. And then down here, we were trying to maintain the fullness of the pizzicato. This is the low flute before. After. And as you can see, I was really trying to get that breathiness. Here's the high flute in the same section before. All right, and then after. So this is the glockenspiel before. Here's the glockenspiel after. Definitely gave it more of its character so it sticks through the music a little bit better, right? Those are the independent channels for the instruments that we really did some processing on. We did do processing on the actual bus, very little, just a little low cut, right? Some high-end boosting. We trimmed out some of the 8.2, so some of the stuff was a little teeny, so we did cut some of that out. As far as the low end stuff, just the low cut was the only thing we did. All right, so the next thing is the vocal bus. We increased around 300 because things were sounding a little tiny, so we boosted that because that's around my fundamental on my vocals, but it all stacks up so much that quite a bit of it gets out there. Now I'll take a look at the harmony bus because we did some EQ in there. Right here at 150, we cut a considerable amount of low end out as a group. So not only did we do the 120 and 150 in some areas, but we also cut 150 here. This was all done not in solo, but according to how the mix was gelling, right? So with that being said, as far as the vocal bus, we'll start with what we did here on the lead. This is before. Outside of my window, I'm watching the day go by. And then after. Outside of my window, I'm watching the day go by. So what do? For the preamp, we really pushed it on the harmonic distortion there, the compressor. Outside of my window, we really compressed it. I'm watching the day go. And then for the EQ, this is what I mean by strong. Just the top end itself is very strong. At 2, almost 3 decibels, you will get a lot of high end. Like, I never really find myself going up here unless it's something that I truly need. but this was the 8193, though we did use the 73 preamp on this one. So we did almost 7 decibels of mid-range, so it cuts through a little bit better. But we also back down on the high end here on 18 decibels. Down here at the lower section, quite a big boost at 220. All right, so for the harmony bus, as before, I'm looking. All right, you hear a lot of low end there. After, I'm looking. See, it's more cleaner. The top end shines through a little bit better. We put some 15K at 4 decibels here. And then at the bottom, we did the 150 hertz low cut. That was it. We chose a 73. We didn't push it hard. Wanted it clean. The woo bus here. Here's before. Oh no. You hear how low it is in the register. Here's after. Oh no. Here is the hook bus before. And all I keep hearing is it get no better. Then after. And all I keep hearing is it get no better. All right, so here is the record before gold on any track. I'm looking outside of my window. I'm heavy. I'm watching the day go by. I'm watching the people hurrying through their lives. All I keep hearing is it get no better. It get no better. It get no better. Even if you try. All I keep hearing is it get no better. It get no better. It get no better. Even if you try. I'm looking outside of my window. I'm heavy. I'm watching the day go by. I'm watching the people hurrying through their lives. Oh no. All I keep hearing is it get no better. It get no better. It get no better. Even if you try. All I keep hearing is it get no better. It get no better. It get no better. Even if you try. My thoughts on Gold 5. Beautiful, gritty sounding thing. The inclusion of the hyper technology kind of solidifies Gold for what it's known for, and that's its distortion or its saturation. If you're interested in getting Gold 5, check the description for the link. Outside of that,